Hi everyone. In this video, I will show you how to set up approvals in Kladana. Approvals allow to check and verify transactions before they reflect on data in account. Approval process available for many transactions in Kladana such as purchase orders, sales invoices, and receivings. There are two steps to set up approval process in Kladana. First, you should give approval permissions for employees. Second, set up notification preferences. Let's start with the first step. Set up transaction approval permissions for an employee. In the Kladana workspace, select Settings, Employees, and click on Add Employee button. In the employee card, fill necessary fields, choose user roles, and click Set up permissions for users. I'm going to add approval permissions to the existing employee. When I click on Set up permissions, I see all transaction types and permission for them. One of them is approved. By default, any user can approve a transaction. If you do not want to give approval permission to the employee, remove the mark from the checkbox for approval. I have done individual settings. You can create a role without approval rights. Just click on individual settings and add a role with specific permissions. In my case, let it be junior manager. I will create this role which won't have permission to approve purchase transactions. Now, when you add an employee, you can assign him to this role and he won't have permission to approve purchase transactions. In the list of employees, you will see who is in that role without permission. We have done the first step. The second step is to set up notification preferences. Let's go back to the settings. If you, as a manager, want to receive notifications only about new sales orders or sales invoices, which should be approved, you should turn on notifications in your user settings. I go again to the employee section, click on myself as manager, and turn on the notifications for sales transactions. And then click on save. If you need to get notifications not only about sales transactions in the Kladana, we will set up it another way. We need to use the workflows module. Let's go there. Workflows. Add a new workflow. I will name it as purchase order notification. Next, I need to specify when the action, in our case, notification, should be done. I choose as object purchase order, event created, and then I choose the action send notification and select myself as a manager who will receive the notifications. And then I create message that should be sent. You can add variables which will be filled with the data from the system. And after you fill all the details, save the workflow. You need to create a workflow to each transaction about which you should be notified. Now I will show you how the approval process will look like. Let's see how it will look like for the user. For example, a company stock is empty and you need to order products from the counterparty. So you need to create a purchase order. You will fill the purchase orders with necessary details. As a user, you have the option to save the document only as a draft. And change the status to be approved. After that, save the purchase order. You, as a user and manager, will see such transaction in gray light with status to be approved. When the transaction will be approved, you will see it in the black color with the status approved. What does manager see when the user has created a transaction? Imagine, I am a manager. First, I receive notification by email with details of what transaction should be approved. Then, as a manager, I go to the purchase module to check the draft transactions. I open the transaction, check details. If I want to approve it, I uncheck the box draft and change the status to approve and save the purchase order. And if I want to reject it, I leave the draft option as it is and change the status to be rejected. I can also create a task for the user about which he will get notification. All statuses manager and users will see on the dashboard. That's all about approval transactions. Some useful links you can find in the description below. Put your likes and subscribe to our channel to get notifications about new videos.